Hi, everybody. I am Mandy Wildman. I am the owner and founder of the Refashion Rebels community on a platform called School. And, if you're in the community, you know that, of course. And today I am talking to a very interesting person. My guest is Tim Adam. He started selling on Etsy in 2007. That was a while ago. So now he runs the Pinterest School community. And I'm going to leave a link down below so you can just go right there. It's free. And his mission is to help creators explode their traffic and sales on Pinterest. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to welcome you.
Yes, Manny.
Yay.
Well, hey, yes, Manny. Thank you so much. This crazy story, exciting. Started on Etsy in 2007, creating just my metal art, metal furniture. Moved into the space of helping other Etsy sellers learn how to sell online. And as I was doing that, social media was a big, big deal, right? And so
Right.
um, we started with blogging. We started with Facebook, Twitter, which used to, I mean, and then Pinterest came around, and it was just an amazing thing because it was this place where you guys all know where you can just find stuff, and it's so visual, and it made sense for Etsy sellers. And so throughout the years, Pinterest has become a huge, huge search engine. So think of this, okay, social media. Oh, we want to turn it off. We don't want to think about it, but think of Pinterest as a search engine. People are going there to search in the search bar things that they want to know about. Okay.
Right. Right.
And that's a big deal. And so what happens is we can create pins and people will find them. So whether we're selling something handmade or we're helping someone figure out a problem, you can sell it on Pinterest. And handmade is so good for Pinterest because if we can sell what we make, we can also put tutorials on there. How many of you guys make tutorials on what you're making? Huge. Okay, how-to
I
stuff.
do,
Yeah,
but I
Mandy
didn't
does
know
for
I could
sure.
put it on Pinterest.
Oh, Mandy, goodness. So people are
I'm
looking to how to
excited.
oh my goodness, how to do things, right? So Mandy joined Pinterest School, oh, I don't know, like this week or so, and she's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's
Just a
do
few
this.
days
So
ago.
yeah, so here we are. So today we're going to cover some high level stuff about Pinterest and how you guys can get started like today, because you should, because it's free. You don't even have to join Pinterest School, but I highly recommend it. But you could just start in a Pinterest account if you don't have one. If you have an old one, keep the old one. Don't think about having to restart
Wow.
something new. Keep the old one. Don't start something new. You already have account. It's already ready to go. You probably already had
Oh,
pins
that
there, right?
answers the
So
question for me because I have a
okay, so
very old Pinterest account, and it's
yeah.
with previous branding that I don't use.
Mhm.
And then I went, "Oh, I should just make another one over here," and that was just a mistake. It's just I couldn't even do one Pinterest account.
Right.
But the old Pinterest account, I joined fairly early, like you. It has, I
Yeah.
think, 1,500 followers or something.
There you
I haven't
go.
done a thing with it in ages, so I'm dying to hear your gems of wisdom here.
For sure. And I'll talk on that for just 1 second. Mandy, you can change the name of it. You can change the picture and all that kind of stuff. The profile image, you can change the actual name of it, but keep everything that's there and just move forward. I would not get rid of everything. That's pretty awesome. So today we're going to jump in. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So we're just going to do like an introduction here, right? So we're going to talk about this is my pin to profit, right? So this is pin to profit. We're going to talk about how this is going to help you. Why are we even doing Pinterest, and what are the good things? So let's just talk about it. So why Pinterest? So Pinterest is a visual discovery platform, like I said earlier, not social media. Okay, don't think of this place as a social media. Yes, you can comment and kind of hang out, but not really. It's a search engine. All right. So search driven platform, 463 million monthly active users searching for inspiration and solutions. Okay, so they're getting inspired. They're also shopping, looking for stuff to buy, but they're looking for solutions as well. So like, how do I make this? How do I do this? How to stuff. Big deal on Pinterest. Okay, so high conversion potential. So users often are ready to act, meaning they're ready to purchase, create, or learn. Okay, because they're going there to find something, not just doom scrolling, which you can. You can get on Pinterest and scroll around, but highly likely they're typing in and actually searching. So that's really cool. Okay. So who should be using Pinterest? All right. Creators in any niche DIY, fashion, fitness, food, home decor, health, wellness, basically anything. Here's an example. I pin for my Ninja Warrior gym because people are on there searching, and you can locally, if I say I live in Canton, Ohio, so Canton, Ohio, Ninja Warrior Gym. So if someone searches that, they're going to find my pins. Okay. And then hopefully they'll go over to my website and do all the things they need to do and all that stuff. So Pinterest is for anything. Okay. So literally anything. Okay.
Wow.
Now you have to follow their terms of service and all that kind of stuff. So not
Right.
maybe, I mean, not anything. But so anyone offering visual compelling or a solution to oriented content. Okay. So you guys are all making that. You guys are all doing that. I know you guys are, can do like how-to videos and things like that. So that's huge, huge, huge. Right. So telling your story on any social media platform, but telling your story and showing you making things, we all know how those videos go. Pretty awesome. All right. So let's move on here. Let's just talk about some more stats and just get your mind going of like how this platform is. So it's a massive engagement with pins. So Pinterest users save 1.5 billion pins per week. That's a lot of pins. Reflecting how
Wow.
active. Yeah, it's crazy. So they're very, very active. All right. So consistent daily activity on average, users open the Pinterest app 48 times a month, which is good. So there you go. I mean, multiple times a day, showing the
Yay.
platform's the platform's role in a daily visual inspiration and planning. So the app is being used a lot. Also the browser. They didn't even talk about like the computer. I mean, like I use Pinterest all the time on my computer browser. So it's crazy. So unbranded discovery leads to opportunities. Okay, what in the world does that mean? So a remarkable 96% of searches on Pinterest are unbranded. That means it's everyday users like us, not like
Um,
not like, big stores and things like that. And so, which is really, really good. So, meaning users are open to discovery or discovering new products and ideas, creating opportunities for smaller brands to gain visibility, right? So, for us, like who are not big, Target and Walmart and all those people that they're on there. You can see their ads, they're on there.
yeah.
But 96% of searches are done, are unbranded. So it's really, really good for us, smaller guys, right? Obviously. So global user base, this is 2024. This is amazing. I mean, 2025, the numbers will come out soon, but Pinterest has over 518 million monthly active users. This is amazing. All right.
It just
Um,
boggles the mind. I mean,
it really
wow.
will. Yeah, it's so good. And then obviously, 12% increase over the years. And it's one of the fastest growing. That's been around for a long time, but in the recent years, it's growing. Okay. And it's because people are searching more and more for those solutions. And they just like, I mean, I love it too, because like I'm on a platform where I'm not currently influenced. Like if I go on Google, I'm getting an AI, and it's AI is not bad. AI is there to
No,
help us.
I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. But on Pinterest, there is AI in the background and things like that because they're using it to find some things. But it's just their search. It's great because it's not influenced by like what AI is thinking and whatever of you. It's just
Right.
straight up search. I love that. So
Well, I
and
like that, and I like that it's not distracting with
yes,
conversations and
yes.
ads that are obviously and there's a lot of distraction on some other platforms.
Oh, 100%.
But Pinterest is just pure joy and
Oh,
pleasure
right.
and soaking in all that creativity. It's just divine.
Yep.
It's a
Love it.
mood enhancer.
It is very true. All right, so let's talk about Pinterest. Pinterest unique benefits for creators. Okay, so
Okay.
we're creators,
Yeah.
and I did not know that I was a creator until like 2005 when I started making some metal things. I'm like, ooh, this is awesome. And then I was able to sell some things. I'm like, this is even way cooler. And then it all launched from there, right? So I started selling. This is art show season, right? So like all you guys are doing art shows and craft shows, and like that's where I started. I literally was doing holiday shows, selling small, not so much furniture because that's hard to sell at shows, but like jewelry and some Christmas ornaments and things like that. But then obviously launching into on the online space was crazy, but like I said, remember, I'm going to say it a bunch of times because it is true. And just remember this because don't get turned off by the social media. But Pinterest is a search engine, right? So traffic generator drives consistent long-term traffic to websites, blogs, and shops, and anything really, anything with a link. I mean, we're talking you can drive traffic. Well, let me pause on that because I have a whole slide for that. Content, yeah, I know.
Okay. This is
Content,
exciting.
I know. Content longevity, right? Pins remain relevant for months, unlike social media posts that fade away quickly. Okay, so what in the world does that mean? All right, well, I post on Instagram, and within 2 minutes, I know that I'm going to get views or I'm not going to get views. And it just goes away. Unless someone's super serious about looking into what you're doing, they're really not going to scroll main your main page of your Instagram. Okay? So it goes away. It's stopped. It is once Instagram is like, I'm done with this, they're not going to show it to anybody else. All right.
Right.
Unless you put it out there in your story or something like that. So the Instagram is just one example. But what Pinterest does, think about this. I pin one thing. I'm going to give you guys an interesting example. Okay. So um, I create some AI art. I love AI art, generate some things. It's just fun, right? So I have an Etsy shop with a few things. So a couple years ago, I'm really into cars. I love cars. My son loves cars, whatever. So Porsche, Porsche, the car Porsche, it is
Yeah.
a lot of people search that on Pinterest. So I saw that people are searching for that. I was like, well, I want to make some really cool art with Porsches in it. Let's do this. All right. So I put it on there. Well, it sat. Then 1 year later, Porsche in the search went skyrocketing. I mean, it was crazy. So 1 year later, it was already trending a little bit, but then 1 year later, it got even hotter. So this pin that I created a year and a half ago got tons and tons of traffic because it was on the platform. And so what I'm saying is your pins will last a long time. They'll last years. They'll last forever. And the great thing is once you pin it, it's always going to be there. And if someone searches for it, then they can find it. It's so good. It's so easy to do, you guys. And creating pins is a pretty simple process. Okay. And I teach all that in the Pinterest school, and you'll see all that. But
I actually have a
love,
story about that.
yeah,
So,
let's hear it.
so I said that I had this old Pinterest account, right?
Yeah.
So this was back early, maybe in the 2010s,
Okay.
and or it was maybe 2015 or something.
Sure.
And I had done this YouTube video. Now I know your passion is cars, but one of
Yeah.
my passions is dolls, specifically
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch dolls. So
Oh
I
my
had
goodness.
made this video all about how to clean your Cabbage Patch doll, and it was really
Yep.
cute. I thought, and it was on YouTube. But then, so I had the video on YouTube, and I had links to it on Pinterest, because I
Oh,
was really into Pinterest when it first came out. Well, I
good
went
job.
off
Yeah.
and opened up a shop and did all sorts of other things, and then eventually sold my shop fairly recently, and
Yeah.
now I'm doing this on school. Well,
Awesome.
that one pin about that video got me, to date, from then until now,
Yep.
so easily 10 years, 66,000 views of
Yeah.
that video on
Let's
YouTube,
go. That's awesome.
and a minimum of 1,000 to 1,500 hits on my blog every single month.
Yep.
So it's like, duh, of course, Pinterest works.
Oh my goodness.
Connecting it with Etsy works, connecting
Yes.
it with YouTube works. It works.
Yes.
I need to get back into it, but I'm fascinated. Carry on,
Mandy,
Tim. This is
I
secret.
absolutely love that. I really do love that story because I always tell my own story, but now I'm going to tell your story. So no, but really, I do love that because you create and you figured it out. Like that's
Boom.
one thing that I teach people, like, hey, you can link to an Instagram post, a Facebook post, a YouTube video like Mandy did. What the
Yeah,
heck? I mean, that's really good. I love that story. That's so good. And like, think about that. You'd create one piece of content. Now, imagine if you did this, if you've gone through Pinterest school and you realize I could create 10 pins about these Cabbage Patch dolls, and
right,
then maybe I get
right.
even more traffic anyway. So that's really awesome. Very good job. Very good job, Mandy. All right.
Thank
So,
you.
growth potential, reach new audience organically through your keyword optimization. Okay. So, Pinterest school, we're not gonna dive into that during this, and I know because SEO and keywords are like, oh, I don't want to learn about it. But let me tell you what, I break it down so easy in Pinterest school that it's a no-brainer. Okay. There's only a few spots that we have to worry about. And I also have, I don't know if Mandy's seen it yet. She will, but she probably did. But there's a free tool that I created that you can check your Pinterest, your title, your description, and your alt tag for your picture. My tool will check it against how good your SEO is. It's so easy to do.
Okay, well,
And
I'm going to do that right after this. I'm doing it.
and it gives you a score too, so it's really cool. I love it, and it's a little tool
Free,
that I built. It's really cool. So,
a free
but
tool, guys.
a free tool. So there you go. So let's go ahead and move on, and we're going to talk about setting up for success. All right. So I said we weren't going to dive into too much, but these are going to be high level, really. These are all covered in the Pin to Profit in the Pinterest school. So it's very, very easy to do. So let's just set up our account for success really quickly, right? So we're creating a business account. So Mandy, if you look back at your account, you probably have it, but just double make sure that your account is a business account, because we're going to be getting
Okay.
analytics, which is amazing, because I mean, who doesn't like looking at all the fun numbers and just, I mean, you would know. Well, yeah. Well, hey, when you start getting a lot of numbers, it's really fun.
Well, yeah, the big
So
numbers. I like big numbers. That's
I
true.
know, I know. So then also you're going to unlock the ability to do ads and rich pins. Okay, so not everything has rich pins, but rich pins are like they're starting to integrate. What that really means is like shopping stuff like Etsy and things like that. So if you're an Etsy seller, rich pins are there, and it's really cool. Like it pulls a description, and it has like you can put in other things to sell. It's actually really nice, and the extra just does it all for you, so you don't have to even worry about it. It sounds complicated, but it's not. So then we're creating, let's see, what am I looking at? Okay, we're going to look at optimizing our profile. Okay, so there's not much to do on here, guys. All right, there's a professional photo. It doesn't have to be professional. It can be your logo. It can be your face. A clear bio with keywords, and then including your link in your website. Or if you're Etsy shop, you can claim that. You can claim a website. You can claim an Etsy shop, and those are easy to do. And I talk about those in the class. So those are some so a couple things right there. And then lastly, we have our boards. Okay, so creating our boards. So boards are where all your pins live in the correct space. So if I'm pinning about sewing and creating upcycling, right? If I'm pinning about that, I'm going to create a board for that, because I'm not going to pin that over in my cars. It doesn't
Right.
not going to make sense, right? So I want to keep those separate. Okay. And that way that's telling Pinterest and also telling users. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really, for a user, it doesn't really matter, because they're just looking at the pin, but it tells Pinterest that I am talking about upcycled materials and things like that. And this is where it sits, and it helps, because it's like, it helps that pin and it helps that board, helps with SEO. So make sure we're pinning into the right board. And really, guys, it's easy. There's steps, but they're pretty easy to take. So I'll just read this here. It says, to make the most of Pinterest, it's essential to set a strong foundation, start by creating a business account, unlock the tools, optimize your profile. I'm not even going to read all that, because I just said all that. Each step ensures that your content easily discovered and positions you as an authority in your field, right? Or
I love
authority
this.
on that board, right? So it's pretty easy to do. Like I said, simple. Okay, so let's move on to
Okay.
the next one. Now, everybody wants to know, all right, how do we create the perfect pin? Okay.
I do want
Because,
to know that.
right, because I can just get on there and pin stuff, and no one's going to look at it, because it's not, doesn't look pretty, or doesn't catch the eye, right? So let's just talk about, there's just a couple things to hit on. Like I said before, this is all covered in Pinterest school, and it's broken down. I even have Canva templates for you to make it even easier. All
Ooh.
right. So visually appealing, right? So let's talk about this. Our visual appeal. So Pinterest gives us a lot of real estate. Okay. The mistake that I see all the time are people are pinning little tiny squares like this. All right. Because
Hmm.
it's quicker and it's easier and sometimes automatic or whatever. But Pinterest gives us a big, huge real estate, right? So 2x3 is long, tall and skinny, or 3x2, 2x3, whatever it is, long and skinny. That's what you want to make them, because you have
Okay.
the real estate. Make sure you use high quality photos. Just make sure, like, a lot of us, Mandy, do you use Canva?
I do.
Okay, so there you go. So one mistake that I see, if you're using Canva, make sure when you guys are saving, or that you're saving your the picture that you just created, make sure it's a high resolution. Like doesn't have to be like 5,000, whatever, but it needs to be higher so that if someone does pull it up when it's not on the phone, it's bigger. And then Pinterest will also, if it's lower quality, they're not going to like it, and
Okay.
they'll know and they won't push it out. So make sure it's higher quality, and just make sure that like you include the clear, readable texts. All right. So one thing that's super important on Pinterest is text. All right. So let's say I have like a tutorial on sewing, upcycle and sewing, right? I got this, and all I have is some picture of some fabric or something. It's not going to get as much attention, and maybe the title is good and all that stuff, unless I put something on there like how to make this or how to sew this or whatever, but big and bold. I
Okay.
was talking to earlier with someone and giving them some advice on a pin, but like make it bold and kind of stand out, and almost like you can even test things. So like I was doing stuff that was like yellow background with black writing, just make that thing stand out, because remember, people are searching, and if they scroll and they stop on something, it's like, oh, look at that. And if it works, it works. And
Yes.
The great thing about Pinterest is you can just test it out. And if it doesn't work, try a new pin. But we're going to so that's our visual, right? So okay, let's talk about. I'm looking at my big screen over here. Okay, so compelling descriptions, right? So for our pins, we have our title, our description, and then we do have the ability to put in hashtags, which they're not. If you guys know what a hashtag is, that hello hashtag thing that is kind of clickable, helps in search. They're not 100% relevant, but I would say, like I teach, just put in like 3, and that's all you need. Okay, very relevant one. So,
In
but
the
we
description, though, not
and
on the graphic.
Oh yeah, no, not on your graphic. Yeah.
Okay.
Just yeah, exactly. Yeah, just on
Okay.
in your description, right? And so then we want to put a call to action, like a call to action, like a CTA. Call to action is like click here to learn more, or click here to find out how to do this, or click here how to buy this. There's always a call to action in your description. You could even put a call to action on your pin if it works. Like, click here to see how to sew this or whatever.
Okay.
Something like that. That would make sense. All right. So then our pin types is really cool. So we can do videos and we can do graphics. Okay. And there
Okay.
are some things, they're kind of phasing this out, but they're called idea pins. And those are kind of turning into videos. So your video pins, so those are kind of going away. But you can also upload, they're moving towards just like every other platform, but carousel. So more than one picture. So like first picture, second picture, which is really nice, because if you have like a series of things, you can upload those as well, and just more things for people to see and click on. So, and then the last thing here for the perfect pin is a link that is relevant. Okay. So if I have this sewing tutorial that goes over to, a pair of jeans that I sewed with buttons on it or whatever, for sale, that doesn't make sense, because I in my pin, I'm talking about this sewing tutorial, but I'm selling something over here that has not. You want to make
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah.
your pin makes sense to your link. Okay. And then wherever you're sending them, it talks about that. Right. So like if I'm selling I have my sewing tutorial, make sure my video or my blog or whatever is that sewing tutorial. And we talk about that. So that way, when like, you know, Pinterest's uh, robots go out there and they look at your site, they're like, oh, this
Right.
site
Right.
makes sense to this pin, and we're going to push it up into the search. So that's pretty basic stuff right there. So remember, we
Well,
want to make a
that
video. Yeah, go
that
ahead.
leads me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started with Pinterest, I was doing a lot of pinning, and especially of my Etsy shop, items in
Sure.
my Etsy shop. But more
Oh,
than once, maybe, well, I don't know, but definitely more than once, I
hmm,
realized, and it took me a while to realize, that that pin
yeah.
went to an item that had sold.
Oh, sure.
So what do
That's
I do about
fine.
that? Can I go back and fix that pin, or should I just move on?
You can. So the nice thing about that is it's fine, because you know it's gone, but then Etsy will have that page, that says like, "Oh, this item's gone," or "This item's not here anymore," and so that's okay. I
It'll
would
still
if
get
you
somewhere.
Yeah, it'll go somewhere. If
Yeah.
you have the time and you're like, "Okay, I maybe I only have a few," you could make that pin go to your entire shop,
Yeah,
or
that might be an idea.
you
Yeah.
could do that, or you can make that pin go to your shop section. That's one of the things.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, so
Shop
that's one of the
section.
yeah, so, like, say you have all these sections and,
Mhm. Wedding
uh
dresses, party
exactly.
dresses, whatever.
Exactly. So that way it's always they're always seeing something. So
I
just think
like
about
that.
that.
Thank you.
Now, one
Good
of the,
tip.
right. So one of the things that I have in the Pin to Profit, I talk about very specific Etsy sellers because that's the space I live in a lot. But it's like pin all your items, pin your main shop, and pin your Etsy sections. It's crazy how many pins we could create.
Oh,
It's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So really go nuts with that. So, all
Exciting.
right. So yeah, cool. So we've got visual appealing, we've got our descriptions, we've got our pin types, and we've got our links. So let's move on to the next one. Oh yeah, I guess we are going to dive into keywords just a little bit. Okay, so keywords and SEO. Don't get scared. SEO is like this big scary word, but I promise you, it is not. It's very break it down very easy for you. So where do we add these keywords? There's literally only three places we put them: in our titles and descriptions, our board names, and in our profile. That's it. That's your main account, all right? So
Right.
for a pin, our keywords are only going to be in our title, our description, and then they give us a space. This is a little techie, so hang on with me here. Each picture has a tag. It's an alt tag. Okay, this alt tag is what Google and all the search engines, when they look at a picture, it tells Google what that picture is. Okay, so it's like I have a picture of a wedding dress. Okay,
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
they're okay with knowing what it is, but if I tell them what it is, it's even better. So we put that in there as well. So
Okay.
this is really easy, guys, and like I literally have it at my one of my courses inside Pinterest School is simple SEO. That's literally what I call it, simple SEO. Okay,
Okay. All
all
right.
right. So keywords. Okay, this is important. Okay, so you have to do some research. Um, there's two things we can use. The two things that I recommend: Pinterest Trends, which is free, and Pin Clicks, which is not free, but it's a tool that someone just came up with. I don't know, last year, super amazing, mind blowing. I absolutely love it. Pinterest Trends is good because you can get on. It's on their site. You just type in Pinterest Trends, and you can see like with graphs and things or what people are actually searching. And it's not as detailed as like Pin Clicks, but it is really good. So here's the thing, guys. What you need to do some keyword research. Okay, I can't just create something and hope that people are searching for it. That's just the bottom
Right.
line. Like if
Right.
I know people are searching for wedding dresses, and that's good, but if I know someone's searching for a particular type of wedding dress, I can kind of like niche down a little bit. But
Right.
if I find out that nobody's searching for wedding dresses anymore, which is not going to happen, but if no one's searching for it, why would I create a pin for that? Because remember, Pinterest is a search engine. And if I create something that no one's searching for, you're not going to get traffic because
Gotcha. Gotcha. But I
no one's
think
gonna
a
find it.
lot of us,
Yeah.
I mean, I can just speak for creators, but
Yeah.
I think you sort of intuitively, but still do the research, sort of know
Mhm.
what your keywords are from having
Yes.
done it for a while. I know from YouTube, for
Oh,
example, keywords are upcycled sewing, upcycled clothing,
yes.
um, thrift hauls, things like that.
Yep.
But I like the idea of getting a bit more specific. Instead of wedding dress, it would be like
Yeah.
vintage wedding dress
Ooh.
80s, vintage wedding dress 90s, vintage wedding dress 1950s or
Oh my
whatever.
goodness. And if you find one in that niche that you love making wedding dresses and you're like, "Oh my goodness, like everyone's searching for 80s, I gotta make that." And how cool is that? Because like we always you gotta think about it as we're makers, like we do have to make things that we love because
Yeah,
we have to, but we
yeah.
also have to think about making things that people are going to buy. So let me just give you one quick example. So like I when I started selling on Etsy, I love making furniture, big modern industrial cool furniture, but don't
Ooh,
get me wrong, it's hard to sell that online, right? It's just
right.
hard because it's expensive, it's impossible to ship. So I'm like, what do I do? And so I decided to start making jewelry and making using some of this scrap metal and things like that that I can make smaller and jewelry. So then I kind of dove into this space of like, okay, I can create this jewelry that maybe I don't love as much, but I still like making it not as much as furniture, but I gotta have something that is helping pay those bills, but I still love to do. So we got to think about
Right,
that.
and that's a
Yeah.
balance with creative
Yes.
people
Oh,
is like, you have to make the income or it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have to make some income one way or
So
another.
it's so true. It's so true. So remember, guys, so Pinterest is a visual search engine. We said it a million times, but the correct words equal better visibility or visibility in general.
Right.
Okay. So very
Beautiful.
good. Oh, I love it. So this is the thing I was going to talk about earlier when I stopped myself because I remembered I had this really good example on the slide.
Okay.
So we're going to switch gears here. So we talked about setting up our Pinterest. We talked about how to make good pins. We talked about some keyword. Now let's talk about some other things that we can do with Pinterest. So Mandy was the great example of doing this with YouTube before she even met me years and years ago. But cross platform growth. Okay. This is an example here of a pin. So this is a video. You can guys can see it. You can see kind of the numbers here, but this was a creator that I featured them on Handmadeology, which was over on Instagram. And if you ever watch this video, it's super awesome. It's one of those satisfying videos where they create this art. It's really cool. So obviously, getting permission from them to repost their content, they're like, oh yeah, I mean, help me out here, like get some more views, right? So I posted it on Instagram and it got 2.4 million views. I was like, oh,
Woo!
holy cow, that's amazing. So then I decided, well, I'm going to put this thing on Pinterest because that's cool too. So I posted it on Pinterest and it got 2.1 million views over on Pinterest. Okay.
That
But
is insane.
isn't that great? So what happened was Pinterest, what I decided to do was I decided to drive traffic back over to Instagram from Pinterest. Okay. So all you do, create your pin. This was a video pin. So I created the pin, did my title and description, and in the link, I put the Instagram link to the video. So anytime someone now, most likely they're gonna consume the video on Pinterest and they probably won't click over, but I did see an increase, a pretty good increase from Pinterest over to Instagram. It was amazing. So being able to cross promote and use and then promote like another platform using Pinterest is so good. So just like you did with your YouTube video with your Cabbage Patch Kids, I mean, dude, that's awesome, right? And it's free
Yep.
traffic. It's so good. It's
Yep.
so good. All right.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so just hit these points really quick. We're extending our life of we're extending the content life of our Instagram stuff or YouTube or whatever it is. Now YouTube is a search engine as well, but remember we're going to extend the lifespan of this content because we're then posting it again on on a platform of Pinterest that like lasts forever, right?
Woohoo!
So yeah, we're enhancing the visibility because we're putting it in another place, and then
Right.
we're showcasing our expertise and style. Obviously, we're just doing it in more than one place, and then we're drives brand growth. All right. So it just being able to like cross promote just helps drive everything all around. So this was a really cool example. It wasn't my own, but obviously getting permission to post that. But you can see how something like this, of visually creating things. I mean, you guys, if you're sewing and creating, do some overhead videos of you guys sewing and creating and like
Mhm.
literally post those all this such good content. So cool. Um,
Beautiful.
oh yes, I love it. Okay, so let's see what the next slide. Okay, some of my slides, maybe I don't even know what they are. All right, so we're gonna talk. We don't even talk about this that much in Pinterest school, but I'm gonna hit on it just really quick. But Pinterest ads. Okay, so one really cool thing about it is Pinterest. You can just like any other platform, there are ads. All right, so and it's super easy to do because I can create a pin and there's a button that says create an ad and it will actually do it. And so, and with that pin, it's all pins. Okay. So if I have a class on sewing or wedding dresses or whatever it is, like I can promote
Mhm.
that and drive more traffic to it. So Pinterest is low competition, okay? Because the ad platform is newer, so it's lower competition right now, okay? And especially, I mean, how many, if you're in a very specific niche and you've done the keyword research, your competition is going to be pretty low depending on what you're in. If you're straight up wedding dresses, that's going to be kind of high. But our return on investment is higher for Pinterest ads as well. And remember, this is super cool, our content is evergreen. So if I create a pin and I do an ad for that pin, if I'd say I'm going to test this for $5, I mean you can literally do $2, $1, whatever, $5. See what happens. Well, as soon as my ad is done, my pin still lives on there, so it's still
Wow.
there. It's so
That's
cool.
cool.
And I know, I love that part. And it keeps going, right? And then remember on Pinterest, people that are searching, they have a higher purchase intent. So great. Remember, they're there, they're searching something very specific,
Yep.
and they probably want to buy or learn or do something. And there you go. And it's those pins are mixed in. I'm sorry, the ads are mixed in with the pins. So it's super great because I
Because they
mean,
don't
they're
hit you in the face.
yep,
I'm an ad, because that's a
correct.
turnoff, that's a turnoff. So I like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, it's really good. And remember we just hit it. So visual discovery. It's in there, it's nice, and it's not in your face. So ads can be a great way to boost anything. Your website, Etsy shop, Instagram, uh, YouTube, wherever you're sending traffic to, you can boost that traffic right here on Pinterest with
I love it.
simple
I
ads.
love
And it's
it.
not if you guys ever tried to advertise on Facebook, it's just like the meta Facebook
It's
ads
horrifying. It's
crazy.
absolutely horrifying. It's just, like, so complicated.
It really is, and Pinterest has made it so easy. You literally click a button. It's so easy to do, and just set your amount. Don't get scared of it because I'm going to spend too much. Well, set your amount. It'll be easy to
Yeah.
do.
So
So that's
you
really good.
know you're only gonna spend $10 or whatever.
Exactly. So
Beautiful.
okay. So that ends really what I had for you
That's
guys. So
beautiful overview,
oh,
though, so helpful,
good,
because
Mandy.
now I'm reignited about
Good.
Pinterest. I've had this long-term account, I didn't know what to do with it,
Yes.
and now I'm all sort of fired up again about it, and I'm realizing, gosh, I've got so much stuff in my Etsy shop. Just go and it's visual. Go and pin the stuff in the Etsy shop or Etsy
Yes.
itself or whatever, or my YouTube videos or whatever.
Correct. I
I
love
mean,
it. So yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
I was just gonna say that I really appreciate you taking the time to do this
Oh,
today
for
to
sure.
help us as creators, and there are so many of us out here in the
Oh,
big wide world, and we are really not the best marketers. Okay, don't
yep.
come at me for this, folks, but we are really not the best marketers, all of the stuff can be confusing,
Mhm.
Facebook and Instagram and da da da. And to
Yep.
know that there is one big visual playground that we can go into, it's not too difficult. But
Yes.
if we need help and more information, which I now do, we can come and join your Pinterest
Yes.
school on the school.com platform. And
Yes.
we can come and learn more. And what I like about how you sort of helped us through this
Yeah.
is that you're so enthusiastic and passionate about it,
I
which
love
is
it.
great.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you're a creative yourself, and you're
Mhm.
taking the time to explain these little things that just sort of feel hard to somebody who mostly works with their hands and
Yep.
with physical things. So this is just great. I
Oh,
really, really appreciate you giving us this
well, eh
introduction to
oh,
Pinterest.
yeah, absolutely, Mandy. I mean, Mandy came to me and asked me if I would do this, and I'm like, "Oh, what's your group like?" I'm like, "Oh, creatives. I love it." And it's like, honestly, guys, I came from this space where like I had to do something to get my art uh out there, right?
Yeah,
And it was social media, and it was like learning how to do so everything that I've learned over the years and taught, it was all taught. I learned it all myself. And obviously I learned a few things from other people, but I think like once you get into it and you do it and you see it and how simple Pinterest is, you will enjoy it. And I think that's one thing that we have to do. Like I said years ago, if you ever look on YouTube, you'll find this video. I do recommend it, but it was 10 things that you could do um to get more traffic on Etsy. My top 10 tips, right? And
right,
the last one, there was two. There was two. This is the first one specific for Etsy, but there is no magic button. You can't just get on Etsy and hope that you're going to get traffic. And we all learned that over the years. You got to be promoting your stuff, right? You got to do it
right.
yourself. The second is if you're not having fun with what you're doing, you got to change it up. All right. There's literally my tip from like 2010, right? It was my
Right.
video. You should watch it. It's so funny. But it's me being goofy, but it's me also being serious. Like if you're not having fun, you got to mix it up, right? If it's
Mhm.
mundane and not fun anymore, you got to mix it up. And I think with Pinterest, you get away from the doom scrolling on Instagram. You get away from like
Right.
negative things and negative talk, but like it's also just this place, like you said earlier, where you can just like, this is visual, this is nice, and like your stuff can live on there and do well over years. I mean, Mandy and I both have really good stories, you guys, like of like how something we pinned a long time ago has just come back up in the search. You do work one time and it lives on. So,
Love
um,
it.
yeah, well, thank you, Mandy, for having me, guys. And listen, if you guys make sure Mandy's gonna have a link somewhere around here, so make
Oh,
sure you
I
guys go
will have a link. I will
right.
have a
So,
link to
I,
Pinterest school.
yeah, so I want to see every one of you guys in there. I can't wait to have you guys in there. And if you guys want to talk Etsy or you want to talk creating stuff, just hit me up in there and we will talk. And I love it, Mandy. So thank you so much for having me. This has been
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Tim. It's really been a pleasure. And
Yep.
I appreciate you taking the time because I know you're busy.